What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Biz with D right here, right now on my Fierce Wings Radio. We have the talented Ivy on the line with us. What's going on?
Everything is good. Light Me Up single is released, so is video. So we're in the team are very happy and excited about how it's been going so far.
Absolutely. Well, I love the single. Tell me about, how you came up with the concept because it's phenomenal.
The concept of the video, you mean?
Yes.
Well, we had so many different options of the idea, but the thing is, since Light Me Up is a song basically about love when you hear it, right? And we didn't want to make a video which is like totally expected with a love story in between. So we decided to make a little twist to it and make it about a diamond because it can also light up. And we did a little heist, and we were excited, and we wanted to try something different and something new, basically.
Incredible. And the track has DJ Khaled on it. How is it working with him?
Well, first of all, DJ Khaled produced this track, and it's our second time working together. I love working with him. He totally gets me. He makes music which is me, which I really feel that it's done for me. He feels me very well, so me as well, and it's been great working with him, and it's just amazing.
I could only imagine to work with somebody of like that caliber that's like really got that production that's like insane coming from Miami.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now you're from Europe, right?
Yes.
What about what part are you from?
I'm actually from ex-Soviet Union. I was born there, and then I moved to first I moved to Greece, then I lived in Austria, then I lived in France for the past 17 years, I think. And for the past 2 years, I've been back and forth between France and the United States, recording and making music.
Wow. And how has, it been like, working over there on your music and working over here? Because I'm sure, you're definitely getting two different kinds of sounds, but how do you collaborate it to make it, that one unifying sound for your album?
Well, the thing is, I don't work in music in New York at all. I do have some influences maybe, but they're the same influences any little girl would have from years ago, including like Madonna, Michael Jackson, Tina Turner, Sade, Whitney Houston, And I started doing it in America because that's where I wanted to do it always since I'm a little girl, because I believe if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. So that's why I went straight to the United States, and I didn't do it in France, ever.
Right, absolutely. And I can totally understand that because, a lot of people, like you said, you mentioned, even from overseas or even sometimes for our artists here in the States, they go travel abroad and, they, really do something with either their music, their acting, their dancing to really, get exactly what they want, because like you said, if you can make it in the United States, you can make it anywhere.
Of course, and to me, I think that exactly music industry in the United States is the one that, it's not that I don't respect any other markets, I do very much, but for me, this is the only market where I want to be in first, and then, yes, exactly go to others from there as it goes on. But there was no other question starting anywhere else except for America.
Absolutely. And so now you also got a chance to work with Meek Mill, and I definitely love that track, Bad Girl Takeover. When you recorded that record in the studio, how did it make you feel to like sing those lyrics? Because they're very powerful. I love it.
It's it was a very special moment because my part was already recorded, and then Khaled was insisting. He's like, we need to get somebody who has streets and fire on this track, and he suggested Nick, and then Nick came. And he was just, he sat down and he wrote the first verse in I think 5 minutes. And I was so astonished by how talented he is just by listening to the beat and the melody for 10, 15 minutes. He already came up with his first verse, and then he came into the booth and recorded it. And then again, he said a little bit more, and he wrote another one. And I was just looking at him. I was looking at Khaled, and he was like, you see what I was telling you? You see? I'm like, yes, you get it? I'm like, totally. He's so talented and so nice also, and he's very good to work with. I'm very grateful to Khaled for this experience.
Absolutely. And let me ask you, because I mean, this is 2 of 3 of the singles that you've had, out from your debut album right now, and you've really got this crazy buzz going on. How would you say that feeling makes you feel overall?
I'm very, very excited and nervous at the same time because it's scary to come out of there and state yourself and say, okay, I do music. But it's been very exciting because I've been getting positive feedback, and I'm also what gives me strength is to work with all those great people, to work with Khaled, to work with Lauren Gibson, because they believe in me, so that makes me feel much more stronger and want to do more. And of course, the support from the fans that I had from day one, and now they're increasing and they're being super kind and supportive and lovable, and they're waiting for more, so that keeps me totally excited and wanting to do more and going only harder and better and trying as hard as I can.
Absolutely, and that's the way to do it. So with your day to day, because I was watching your webisodes and I was see how your recording process is, and being in the dance studio and rehearsals like that. And do you ever find yourself getting even insecure in the moment of doing what you love, or do you just you're like, you know what, I got this, I done did this, this is who I am?
Actually, it's me doing what I love, but I got this. It's sometimes you feel that you got this, and then sometimes you get so nervous that you're like, no, I need to work more. Of course, I need to work more, but sometimes it feels
right.
real, and you have to be in the artist mode, and it actually takes a lot of courage.
I know that's right, and that's how I am too, especially with my radio show. Or sometimes I'll listen back and I'll be like, or as I'm going, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I sound so horrible, and it'll be like a daily routine of me doing it. But I'm like, hey, you know what? You actually, you're fine. Stop being so nervous and so bad on yourself. You did perfect. So I definitely know how that feeling is. And so let me ask you about your album. Do you have a title in mind for the album, or are you just still recording?
No, we're still recording, and every time, we're coming out with something, and we're like, no, this is not it, because we didn't find this it yet, We're still looking as we're recording, so it's still untitled, and it's work in progress in the studio and listening sessions and vocal lessons and preparing and get yourself started. But yes, we do not have the name for the album just yet. Okay. I think it has to come in one of those inspirational, inspired moments. That's when it comes. When you think it, you're overthinking it. And I think it's just going to come and boom, okay, I got it. I know what it is. So I'm waiting for that thing to come.
Right. And you know what? That's the best way to do it, because a lot of artists nowadays, there seems to be a hole with some people putting out their albums like that, but it's a good thing, because you got to take your time to put out the right product, something that you feel secure about, that your team, your label, and everything, because everybody wants to win, and give people that the right message of how you want to convey your music.
Totally.
Now I've got to ask you, because like I said, I was watching your videos on YouTube. Your performances are incredible. Is it a lot of training, to lead up to a performance?
Well, it is a lot of training. We're training 6 hours a day, dancing, and then also vocal lessons, and then you sing and dance at the same time. So yes, it's a lot of work, and I'm still like in this stage of developing all those skills because, like, one day your rehearsal, everything is perfect, it's amazing. The other day you cannot move, you're stressed, there's something else, and then boom, you have to be on the stage. So we're working on the performances, and yes, it takes a lot. It's like takes blood and sweat for sure. It's not an easy thing to do.
And that's a good thing that you're even saying that, because a lot of people don't even note the fact that, hey, dancing and singing while you're performing is not easy. You really got to practice it and take that those 6 hours to nail it, because you don't want to be out of breath. You don't want to stumble over anything that you're in that moment. You want to make sure that it's right. I just want to ask you another question, because I see that one of your musical influences is Michael Jackson, and I also see there's Madonna. If you could have to choose one song from both of them to be your absolute favorite of all time, what would they be?
The song, you mean?
Mm-hmm. For Michael Jackson and Madonna, like just one song from them both.
I'm sorry, could you repeat it again, please?
Oh, no problem. I was saying, if you had to choose one song that you absolutely love by Madonna and both Michael Jackson, which song would that be?
Madonna, there's so many songs of her I love, like Lisa, Bonita. Like every album she comes out with, there's one song that like I die for. So there's so many. Like then there was a song called Blue. Then there was Frozen. I love that song very much. And then there's another one called Hollywood. Like every album she comes
Yes.
out. And Michael Jackson is every single song he has is amazing. But my favorite was Liberian Girl. When I heard this song, I died. I would put it on the repeat nonstop for hours. I just love that song. That's actually my favorite song of him, even though all of them are amazing, but this one just, I don't know, makes something inside me that it's like, wow, I just absolutely love this song.
You know what, that's really funny, because those are actually one of my favorite songs from them both. Like, when I first heard Liberian Girl, I think it's crazy, because it's weird, because I don't know how old I was, and I caught up on that song. I think I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I died. I was like, oh my gosh, this song is life.
You're telling me this, I'm having goosebumps because we're connected.
And then Hollywood, when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is such high energy, very fun, very dancey. Because I'm a dancer, so I was like, this is totally in my element. Ivy, thank you so much for this interview. I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with me today.
David, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope to meet you one day and shake your hand and say thank you to you, face to face.
Yes, absolutely. You gotta keep me posted with your shows in New York or something, and I will definitely be there. So, Ivy, before we let you go, can you tell everybody where they can find you as far as your social media is concerned?
I'm sorry, what?
Your social media. Can you tell them where they can find you?
Social media, they can find me on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram.